Hey, what is up everyone? Coach Danny here. Today I want to talk about some basic techniques using your footwork, but also I want to add in to show you a couple of tricks where you shouldn't always be moving forward in a straight line or even backing up. I'm going to show you how we do this. Okay, so for the demonstration of this tutorial, I've actually placed two pieces of tape here just to make a plus sign onto the ground here on our mats. Just wanted to demonstrate first. So let me start by, in case you're new here, how to place your feet. So if you look here on the diagram on the floor is, if my feet are parallel like this, this is where I want to get a stance. And let me back up to right in the center right here. This is a good demonstration of, I don't want to have my feet placed in this direction, like one beside the other like this, right? I want to have good balance, and nevertheless, I don't want to have this type of stance as well, even pointing sideways like this, like a karate fighter. This is really bad because if I was fighting Muay Thai or MMA, it's going to be really hard for me to check some leg kicks, so it's going to be a long night if I can't block some strong kicks from a good kicker. So this here, I have no mobility from front to back. So the reason why I place two tapes, just to demonstrate how we want to place our feet. I always want to have one foot in one of the squares, if you will, and the other on the diagonal just behind it like this. Okay, so for example, if I was placing like this is no good, and if I was placed like this is also no good. So we want to have this type of position with our legs at all times. Okay, so whether you're doing mixed martial arts or Muay Thai, this is a great stance. Now, there's going to be some nuances once in a while, depending on the maybe type of technique, I should say, that you're going to throw. But in essence, in general, this is going to be the placement of our feet. So a good stance will mean that if I'm in this position here, where I'm square, I don't want to turn, let's say, for example, on a 90. So if I'm standing like this, I don't want to turn in this direction and point here. I want to really be able to have one foot out and place it on a 45 degrees and not place it behind me at 90 degrees, always in this position. Now, the purpose of this tutorial, once we have this stuff on the ground, is to show you guys that if I was to walk towards you in a straight line, like having my feet correctly placed, and I start to move forward as such, look at my legs, this is good for basics when we're starting out. But eventually we want to be able to train ourselves to move laterally as well. And by laterally, I don't just mean moving this way and this way. All right, I want to create some offense and put some pressure into my footwork to disguise how I'm going to start to cut the ring, for example. So a good exercise you can do is place the tapes just like I did, and now start to move. Now notice how my head, my nose, my belly button is in the center line of that line right here. So now when I start to move, instead of going vertically just in a straight line like this, I'm going to start to move a little bit on the side. See now my head is off center line. As I move back one step, I'm off center line again. As I move in, I'm still moving forward, but I'm always going from one side to the other, knowing that if my opponent actually steps back in a straight line, for example, as such, if my opponent is doing this, eventually he's going to hit that plateau where the back of the cage or the ropes, he won't be able to back up. Now, that being said, we also, once we understand this, we don't want to do the same thing. So as an example, if you are coming towards me, I don't want to just be moving like this in a straight line. I want to bring myself off center line. So maybe you'll take 2-3 steps. So this drill could be like an exercise where you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then step out onto an angle. So if you're moving in this direction, now I've created an angle using my defense, right? If I want to move to my right side, same thing, 1, 2, 3. And if I'm moving in this direction, now this step is going to come right here to create this angle. We can play around using backing out, but also using our offense as I start to step maybe in a straight line, like I said, a little bit of diagonal motion here, one step back into the middle, diagonal, one step back to the middle, and then side step to create that angle. These little drills are just basic footwork drills. We can do a full tutorial on this, but I want to keep it short just to show that when you're training your shadow boxing, don't just throw some punches and kicks. Throw some punches and kicks, but incorporate how you're going to move forward, how you're going to move laterally, how you're going to move back, using this, maybe a piece of tape or two pieces of tape like I just did, as a good measure of reference of how you should be aligning yourself in front of an opponent. Right now I'm doing it solo. What I'm gonna do next is bring Alex into the frame, and we're gonna show you guys a little bit more context of what I'm talking about. Okay, so first I'm gonna do it in this direction so you guys see the side view, and then I'll do another repetition doing this so you can see, like let's say it's back against the camera. So our feet are gonna be placed on each side of the line. Now, if we back out here and Alex starts to put the pressure onto me, just like I was talking about, we wanna have that nice distance. Now, when I see him moving, of course I'm gonna move with him. As he's moving in, I wanna create that distance. But eventually, if I just do this, I'm gonna hit the fence or I'm gonna hit the ropes. So what happens now is when you feel that you're getting pressured in, you're gonna take your steps as he moves in, and then you're gonna step out so you can maybe shoot a punch here or a kick to the body. And if I'm doing it in the other direction, it's gonna be the same thing. So from here, you know, this is my measure for distance. I wanna be just outside punching range, and as he moves in, I'm also moving out. And eventually, as he moves in, this is where maybe a kick to the body, or if I'm using boxing, I'm gonna throw a punch to his chin. So you wanna be able to work this as you're moving out and also as I'm creating the offense, okay? So let's say I'm doing offense. Let's do it in this direction now, Alex. Now in this direction, as I'm gonna move forward, Alex is moving away from me. So watch what happens now when I have a good sense of reference of moving a little bit, hiding my angles, and he's going out in a straight line. This is what it looks like. As I move in, he moves out, but he's also going in a straight line. All day long, I'm just walking to chase him down. What we want to do instead is watch my head in relation to Alex's. We're right centered where that line is. As he moves in a straight line, I'm moving out, see? I'm moving out. I'm still following him, but I'm also moving off center. So every time I decide to put some offense, such as a strike, I'm still in that zone, that one step away to close the gap and throw a strike to the face, or maybe even a kick to the body or to the legs. So this is a good drill to practice, guys. Put some tape. If you have a training partner at home, do this with a training partner, but you can just visualize this stuff, what I'm talking about, and see it in your mind to always walk your steps a little bit on an angle here and here, but you're hiding that movement where you're still moving, putting pressure forward, but you're really away from his striking zone, and you're creating your own steps to create some offense. All right, guys, so there you have it. Quick, basic tutorial to implement some tactics into your footwork training. Guys, leave us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here. We'll see you guys
in the next Muay Thai video.
Take care.